This is a proper fish cake. It's not loads of spuds with a fishy flavour.
No, it's not. It's good. It's a good balance, this. So I'm going to start to mash, David.
We're going to poach this salmon beautifully, a little court bouillon, and flake some hot smoked salmon to give it a nice savoury. So first off, I've got some milk in this pan. I'll put a bay leaf in. Some peppercorns, just to flavour it a little bit. And let's have some dill stalks in this as well.
Go on, why not? It's a lovely recipe, this, and it's quite simple, as you'll see.
Just float the salmon in there, pop the lid on, and give it about 5 minutes.
Top tip when you're using a ricer, don't overfill it.
This is hot smoked salmon. Lovely flaked on a salad, but it can be quite salty, which is why we'll taste the mixture before we do it and just kind of flake it up a bit. I'll pop that in there.
I'm going to use my hands for this. Just give it a little mix while we wait for the...
Yeah, not too far off. Oh, that's all right. Beautiful. So just flake that. So let's get this skin off. Put that in. This is quite a lot of fish, which is what we want.
Wash your hands and then get stuck in, because you need to get this...
Is it hot, that salmon?
Evenly distributed. It's quite hot, but not too bad. Chill in the freezer for 10 minutes if possible, just to firm up before you start the process of coating them.
We're using panko breadcrumbs, you know, like the Japanese ones.
Take some of the mixture and then just push it together in your hands.
So we dip it in flour, in egg, sure it's nicely coated, and then in the crumbs, and really dredge it. And just float it into the oil and butter and repeat. That is our salmon fish cakes, super pub style. But first, we're going to cure the salmon, which is like a rub, a marinade, and it's going to be in there for half an hour before we start to confit the fish.
And I'm going to do pomme noisettes. Now, they're a favourite thing, and basically you take a melon bowler and you try and get a perfect ball out of said potato.
First off, goes great with salmon, a splash of gin, about a tablespoon-ish. The zest of a lemon. The other thing that goes with gin is juniper. So, I've got some juniper berries. How are you getting on there, son?
Well, yeah.
Just take a few juniper berries, crack them, and scatter those over your salmon. A teaspoon of salt. This will draw moisture out of the salmon. And lastly, a tablespoon of olive oil. I think the moment has come to put my hands in here and just work into both sides of the fish. This is preparing that said salmon for its oily bath. I love posh food. Now, I need a litre of oil, but basically I need enough oil in this pan for those salmon to be able to bathe, just to be covered. Now, this has to be 55 degrees Celsius. The thing about being a confit, it has to be 55 when it goes in. We keep it between 45 and 55 for about 20 minutes. It's that precise. Oh, I've got a bit hot. What I'll do is I'll just cool it down with a bit more oil, because these salmon pieces must be covered. Now, you can use this oil again, but bear in mind, everything will taste fishy.
I'm going to just blanch our lovely pomme noisettes off and literally just pop them in for a minute, strain them, and then the good bit. What we're going to use is some clarified butter, because it's the real traditional way to cook noisettes, because they go a beautiful golden colour.
It doesn't burn, does it?
It doesn't burn, no.
It's like a pan full of muscat balls, isn't it?
Oh, it's superb, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's us, I think. Dave?
Well, the confit's nearly there.
I reckon I've got 30 seconds left on these. They're lovely, beautifully golden, aren't they?
Shall I start to plate up?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I think I'll start off with a little bed of the samphire and sea purslane. And I'll take confit salmon, It's so delicate now in the middle. My noisette's on there, tumbling. Simon?
Yes, David.
Our confit salmon with noisette potatoes, sea purslane and samphire.
Posh fish, chips and mushy peas.
Aye.
Boom.
Boom. We've got 2 wonderful trimmed salmon fillets, and we're going to poach these down because we're going to make a salmon, spinach and hollandaise sauce pie. But the hollandaise has tarragon and lemon in. Into the milk, got some tarragon, peppercorns and lemon and a bay. But you know, it's a bit of flavour.
Lovely.
We poach that till it just flakes.
I am going to infuse about 50 millilitres of white wine vinegar and then a few peppercorns, a couple of blades of mace, and we need 1 shallot, finely chopped. We're going to reduce this until there's about 2 tablespoons of liquid left, and that's it. So we'll boil it quite hard. 2 tablespoons, don't forget. And that's what we want out of this.
Now look, that big pan of spinach has become this little pan of spinach.
3 egg yolks, whisk. And whisk them until they change colour. Now, because the process is gentle and the heat that we need has to be indirect, use a bain-marie. I'm going to add a little bit of fine salt, add the butter, give it a good whisk again. Right, so I'm going to take this off the heat. Do you see how it's kind of starting to thicken? So now we just start to add the butter. Just a little at a time.
Bought puff pastry. Take half of the fish, hands are fine for this, and spread down one side. Now half the spinach.
As you can see what Dave's doing, he's squeezing every bit of moisture out. All of that flavour's still going to be within the leaves, but don't want the moisture.
Now just spread that over the salmon. Now that wonderful hollandaise sauce. Eggy wash around the edges. And let's put you to sleep, son. And want it well sealed, and just kind of start a nice rolling crimp on the side like so. Brush very gently with egg so we get a nice golden top. About 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes or so until it's risen, bold and golden.